All praises belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of all the worlds. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our souls and evil of our bad deeds. And we ask Allah's countless peace and blessings to be upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Remember that it is the sunnah on Friday, beginning from Thursday after Maghrib until today, which is Yawm al-Jumu'ah, until Maghrib, to oftenly and frequently send salutations on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Today we're going to look at a couple of benefits, inshallah. The first one is praying in the Masjid and the Iqamah is called. And Abi Hurayrata and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qala إِذَا أُقِيمَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَلَا صَلَاةَ إِلَّا الْمَكْتُوبَةِ. Abu Hurayrah narrated, may Allah be pleased with him, that when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when the Iqamah is called, there is no prayer except the obligatory prayer, collected by Muslim, Abu Dawud, At-Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, and Ibn Majah. Benefits for this topic is that 5 out of the 6 books of hadith collected this hadith. Sometimes we hear people say the Sahih Sitta. This is incorrect. The only books that are Sahih from those 6 books are Bukhari and Muslim. Imam al-Bukhari avoided it as there was a difference about the status of the hadith being marfu', meaning it's attributed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or mawquf, or attributed to the Sahaba. But anyway, the hadith is sahih and it is marfu'. Although Imam Bukhari didn't narrate this hadith, he named a chapter in his sahih, when the Iqamah is called, there is no prayer except obligatory prayer. He used the hadith, Allah's messenger passed by a man praying 2 rak'ah after the Iqamah had been pronounced. When Allah's messenger completed the prayer, the people gathered around him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or that man, and Allah's messenger said to him, protesting, are there 4 rak'ah in the Fajr prayer? Are there 4 rak'ah in the Fajr prayer? The title Imam Bukhari wrote shows that his opinion was the congregational prayer invalidated the voluntary prayer at the call of the Iqamah. Understand that when the Iqamah is called, Imam Bukhari believed that if you were praying the voluntary prayer, then it became null and void. The words, are there 4 rak'ah in prayer, confirmed the Prophet ﷺ disapproved of the man praying while the Iqamah was called. This is one from the 20 hadith that Imam Muslim narrated from Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal through his chain. Abdurrahman ibn Nasr said, this hadith means that a person shouldn't start a voluntary prayer at that time. There's a difference if one is already in the prayer and the Iqamah is called, and how far he's actually into it compared to one who's starting the voluntary prayer and the Iqamah is called. The issue has 4 situations, that can occur at the time of the Iqamah. 1, the Iqamah is called before the Muslim begins offering the voluntary prayer. In this situation, he cannot begin with the Sunnah prayer. 2, the Iqamah is called, and there is no way possible he can complete the Sunnah prayer without missing 1 rak'ah or the taslim altogether in the congregation. In this scenario, it's a must for him to stop the voluntary prayer in one opinion. And there's no contradiction between a Sunnah and an obligatory action. Starting the voluntary prayer doesn't remove the obligation of Jama'ah. The third one, if the Iqamah is called, and it is possible for him to complete the Sunnah prayer and catch the first rak'ah, then in this case it's better for him to complete the Sunnah. He should complete the Sunnah prayer moderately. 4, he has begun the prayer and the issue is between him completing the prayer and missing the first rak'ah, or discontinuing the prayer and catching the first rak'ah. Generally speaking, Sheikh Abdurrahman viewed it was better to complete the prayer, offering it moderately, even if the first rak'ah was missed. Furthermore, there is another view in the Hanbali law which says it's better to stop the prayer when the Iqamah is called, because based on the general meaning of the hadith, it's permissible to cease a voluntary act. And when they say stop it, some scholars say you don't even have to do the taslim, you can just stop, because the prayer is null and void. So no need to say, some people we see while they're standing, they have their hands on the chest and the Iqamah is called, They say assalamu alaikum to the right while standing and assalamu alaikum to the left while standing. Some scholars have said that you can just stop the prayer altogether. Wallahu ta'ala alam. So Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Sadi concluded with the opinion in number 3 above based on the verse, and render not vain your deeds. Meaning the third position, if the Iqamah is called and it's possible for him to complete the sunnah and catch the first rakat, in this case it's better to complete the sunnah. And he should complete it moderately. So here what I say, and Allah forgive me, that I consider after looking at the 4 scenarios explained by Sheikh Abdullah ibn Aqil and Imam Bukhari's fiqh in the issue, the position of Imam Bukhari seems to be the strongest, meaning there is no prayer offered at the time of the Iqamah. And if a person is praying, he should discontinue that prayer without saying the taslim. An important note to add is scholars and imams have differed over this issue, and the situations described above from 1 to 4 give us a clear picture. Sheikh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, recommended number 3 and said it made no difference if the Muslim was offering Tahiyatul Masjid or the Ratib prayer or just praying voluntarily. If he was in the second rak'ah, he could complete it moderately. And that's a good position as well. Completing the prayer moderately in this case could be done by reading Fatiha only. If you're in the second rak'ah, it's permissible to only read Fatiha, as that's a condition for the acceptance of the salah. So no need to read a short surah after. Just read Fatiha without a surah after it, and saying the legislated tasbih 1 time, and the legislated tasbih in sujood 1 time. So the tasbih in ruku' and the tasbih in sujood, only say them once. This is what is obligatory. And the maximum amount of times a person can say them is 9. And if you say them 3 times, then that is sunnah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Prepared and collected by your brother Abu Ali Abdullah bin Dwight Battle. Published 1436 Hijrah in the blessed city of Doha, Qatar. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.